So every person who goes into marriage enters it in the hopes of having a joyful and lasting marriage relationship. Yet, many of them sadly end in either separation or divorce. Many marriages break down and end in divorce because people do not recognize the early warning signs that the marriage is in trouble. And that's why our conversation today will be very useful. Now, good counselors will tell you that serious marriage problems don't happen overnight. They creep up on people gradually. And I've got the perfect person to start this conversation with us. And this is useful to all of us. So I would entreat all of you to pay attention to our conversation today. What are the red flags if it is possibly leading to a separation or the big divorce? Reverend Dr. Kisiedu has made time to join us on the show this morning, and I am so grateful. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
You always look good. I mean, it's like you're not growing.
Thank you.
Okay, so Rev, I know that you've talked and written several books. This is very important because a lot of people are getting divorced. Sometimes that it's very scary. People just get married and then, you know, they go their separate ways. Are there signs? And yes, they are, but how can we see?
Yeah, first of all, ensure that your marriage is not dead on arrival.
Oh.
Some marriages are dead on arrival, wrong motives, purposeless. You see, when you don't have a purpose, I went around the schools, Azantoa, Kumasi Girls, Pasatia High School, Prempeh College, I've been to Wesley Girls, and I tell them, purpose, what is your purpose in life? Have a reason for things you do. So if you don't do it when you are young and you grow up, and the main reasons why one marries, whether you are even Hindu or Christian or Buddhist or atheist, so far as you're a human being, you want companionship, you want sexual satisfaction, you want to have children, and you want domestic help, and then you want economic or financial help, and then I call something special help. A king will want a queen, you know, whatever it is. But then I find problems with this because some people go in with only one of them as objective, sexual satisfaction. One, typically the women, I want children. Or the man does not even know that children are so important to him, and then no child first year, second year, third year, and he's going by. There's this man who is not having any kids with a wife, and he's a big man in the church, actually a pastor. And he's asking the wife to allow him to have sex with the worship leader of the church because she looks good, so they can have a child.
Is this a Ghanaian story?
This is a story, true story. I'm telling you. I don't want to tell you which city. And yeah,
and this is the pastor.
Right now. Yeah.
Who knows the story about Abraham, Sarah? I mean, this is the person who preaches.
What I'm saying is that being a minister of the gospel, why do you make childbirth the objective to the point of going that far? And the wife said no. You know what he's saying? Because you don't like the girl. This is typical of, it doesn't, I just said this for you to know, it doesn't matter who you are. It's no respect of persons. When you are between the rock and the hard place, and it reveals, it's like tea bag, put in hot water, it shows who you are. And the relationships are supposed to help to shape our character and mold us into better beings. But people go only receiving without putting in. It's a mission field, you see. So some of the serious warning signs, apart from if it is alive on arrival, and it's not the case of doom, so it is so doom. It is you saw first and then it's doom doom. But don't let it get to point.
The doom doom will be the separation bits.
Yeah, the separation, and then when it gets to point, divorce. Okay? One of the first signs, communication is the blood and life of relationships. When communication begins to go down, it's a serious sign. You don't tell me what you want. And communication must always be free and complete. I'm coming. Why can't you see the details? Or when every question is questioned. Where are you coming from? Why are you asking
me that?
And then you begin to also then trust. Trust is what you know. If I don't trust you, I won't come for the program. If you don't trust me, trust is based on faith and respect and love, all mixed, those things mixed together. You love the person. You believe the person is somebody who can do this and this with you. And then also you respect the person and all that mixed together. When there's no trust, The moment you begin to say, he has been in the bedroom for 1 hour, what is he doing there? What is he doing outside? He's supposed to be home at 5. Well, that's when the maid be in trouble or whatever it is. But when it doesn't communicate, when I left the office, when I'm leaving, I call. In case something happens, they will know whatever it is.
So communication and trust are linked?
Yes.
Okay.
You see, when I don't know your mind, I don't know the details of things. Because I don't know, and I know only bits and pieces, it doesn't make me know exactly who you are. So I'm very careful about how I behave towards you, and careful about giving you the information, giving this, because I'm not sure how you're going to take it. Especially when in courtship, for example, when you are sharing and the other one is not sharing. You want to know my salary and all my wages and all my benefits, but you're not telling me fully yours. And everything is generalities, not specifics.
Okay.
So trust. Then honesty. When the one actually lies, is not telling the truth in the communication process, sometimes half-truth. You know, it doesn't want to tell the whole truth or actually lying. Then you know there's trouble. Because the lie is going to break the trust. It's going to make you be very careful about your communication. So it's going to be fragmented. The next one is when it's selfishness. In some cases, if I give it, I have about 14 signs. When I begin, I actually start to face selfishness. We share. In marriage, we share. It's mutuality. And when it is I, me, I don't like my life like that. Me and my children. And I told you, and I and we and that. Then you know, instead of we and us, then you know that it is self-serving relationship. I think only of myself. Then also in marriage, lovemaking, sex. When it's done roughly, it's not done gently and lovingly, or it's not done at all, or done sporadically, you know, it's not regular, things have changed. And if certain things in the system of the lovemaking has changed, like a woman says, I know my husband must have an affair. I said, how do you know? In a woman, you have greater intuition.
Yeah.
I said, I can sense in my spirit that some other woman is sharing, but I can't explain. I haven't caught him. There's no evidence. But when he's doing it, that's when I sense that. That wholeness of him grabbing me and enjoying is reduced.
But finally, was it true?
That was in New York. We left Virginia. The man, the way he was spending some time out and things, I don't know. I've been in touch. Is a Spanish lady. I don't know. Yeah, but in a number of instances like that, sometimes it's not true.
Okay.
Sometimes it is.
Maybe stress is just workload.
Yes, and sometimes too, he's so close to somebody, and one is stealing their heart in some way. He's enjoying food and enjoying those who pass there and eat a little bit, and enjoy more time on the phone. So it's just that the heart is being stolen a little bit indirectly.
Okay.
Emotional infidelity.
All right.
So he's not having that feeling towards the wife, but having more towards someone who is nice, because there's no character building there. But that woman, you can't live with her 1 week. You don't even know her. Yeah. But because this one...
He's just enjoying the telephone conversations and that kind of thing.
You see.
Don't you need that once in a while?
Oh, all of us, somebody asked me, how does your wife marry you? I said, she's the only one who can marry Kisiru. Do you know when we're going to marry, when we sat down? One of the first things I told her, because she knew I work a lot with women, you're going to help me. I said, oh, yes. You know, I was a speaker for a nurse, and all the nurses in Ghana have a conference Easter time, and I was made to be a speaker. Actually, someone was, as a Gababio, one of our big brothers was to speak, and the nurses in the conference came to me. I said, I haven't seen a student being a speaker at the big conference, all the nurses in Ghana. I said, yes. And the Lord worked wonders. I was with them 3 days at a Pokowara secondary school. So my wife, because she was on duty and things couldn't come, and that's when she first heard my name. And the women came to report how fantastic I was. This loving man, and I didn't even know who I was going to marry. Some people were seriously praying on campus, thinking I'll come with so many women sitting on my head, but it didn't happen. So the point I'm making here is, if the trust is there, and lovemaking. The other thing is when there's no sharing. Sharing of resources, sharing of money. Hey, why did you sit in my car? You know, this cup, you didn't wash it well when you use it. Then everything of yours, your car, your CD player, your phone, your this,
but these are petty things.
You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised that, yeah, they lead to other things.
Yeah.
There can be a fight over, let me give you an example. I went to a Pentecostal church in upstate New York. And a woman walked to me and said, please talk to my husband. I'm from Northern Ghana, and he is Fanti. And I like dawa dawa. You know, when it's fermented, the scent is strong. And anytime I eat dawa dawa, he laughs at me. You see, you think you're laughing at food. And this is what she said. If you're Fanti and you know you can't marry a northerner, why did you marry me? So I called the man and said, my brother, stop the Fanti concept. You are joking in the house. The woman takes it serious. You think you are laughing at food. You are laughing at her culture. So you are laughing at her personality and things. The last time I was there, I asked the elder, where is the woman? Oh, they divorced long time. We don't know where they are. So dawa dawa can break a marriage. Dawa dawa. It's not a dawa dawa, but they are associated. It communicated to me that you don't accept me and my people. And then the way you, and then the next one, and the next one, I'm going to answer you in a certain way the next hour for something, and then say you are disrespecting me, and then I'm lying in bed, and I'm like a piece of wood, and you are saying you are lying like a piece of wood. Why do you say that? Just say I'm not this, what is a piece of wood? Am I wood in this house? I'm not a human being. And then the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Yes. So, then the next thing is, when schedules are changing abnormally, leaving earlier than expected, not always, sorry, not once a while, but as a habit, or arriving later than expected, and it's on and on, then either he's seeing somebody somewhere, or something, or he's not happy at home, or he's picking someone else to work.
So in that case, like should you be explaining yourself?
Yes, because I become concerned that instead of leaving at 7 these days, you leave at 6. And I wonder, sometimes even 5:30. And I don't know why. And when I ask you, you ask me, why am I asking you? Or you are talking to me and I can see from your eyes, you are manufacturing something. You can sense, you know. Or maybe they give you extra duties, and because extra duties come with some money, you don't want me to know about the money. It could be anything. And then you arrive late. And it's not just once, it's not twice, it's not 3 times. And sometimes offended. There was somebody who was coming home and an old classmate called. He hasn't heard from the person for a long time. So, oh, call me. It was around 9 p.m. Call me at home. I'm driving. So got home and then the person called. The husband was sitting down. Communication. And then all the husband heard was, yes, okay, yo, yes, okay. So she noticed that for the following few days, the attitude had changed. So she was wondering, so what, at the end of a week, he asked, what is happening? Your attitude, he said, I know, you think I don't know, I have seen it. I have given it to God. Oh, you have given what to God? I've been praying. Communication.
Yeah.
But you see, before then...
you say everything?
Yes, that's the next thing I was going to say. If the trust is deep, you see, if the trust is deep, there are some have called. The other time, someone I don't want to mention here called. So my wife, say hi to her. You know, at the end, when I say, oh, I love you, goodbye, my wife was sitting there. She's used to it. She knows. In fact, there is even a niece. We don't say hello. When we call us, one time you called and said, you do so it's his uncle Sammy who does it, not for me, you know. So when he then said, we have never said hello before. You must know how the person is and understand the person.
Couldn't the man also take advantage of that?
Yes, so you have to be careful. There should be a balance. But it doesn't mean it doesn't caution me. I got a lot of pictures, some on the cell phone, hard copy ones, whatever it is. And still, you have to be cautious. Because among them may be one person with some motive. You see, the spirit are behind people and all that. So she cautions. Even the counseling. Some months ago, he said, watch carefully. Because sometimes in the morning, people call all over the world from your broadcast, from your books and things, and you sit counseling. I'm concerned about your personal devotion. And allow your wife to do that. If your wife sees it and senses it and is not able to do it, then you are not getting the helper. It's more than cooking.
Do you always listen to her?
Yes, except when I feel it's just a feminine fear or something.
Okay.
Otherwise, then be very careful. Your wife is not your God. Your husband is not your God. God is there, and we are human. It doesn't mean everything I say to. You see, one time, one of her teachers from Ghana, from Nursing Training College, came to New York. We were going to visit. I said, well, let's buy 1 or 2 simple things from a store and give to her. Oh, no, I want to bake bread. No, but I don't know how to cook bake bread. And the women, you are different. Me baking bread. But I don't know what it means when your student who is married over the years is baking homemade bread and bringing to teacher. Do you get it? And maybe adding something. I was seriously telling her, stop, let's go. I'll bake bread. How it's going to take years? No. I couldn't believe my wife quickly did whatever she would do, put in the bread, and the bread was ready. The woman was so appreciative. And even later they called and said the people in the house, well, the bread, even when you see it's appetizing. So that is why she didn't listen to me. So in some instances, she also said, no, this is a man thinking.
Okay.
But then checks and balances are there.
Okay.
Then
so,
also,
you know, when you know some of these signs and you want to address it, but anytime you raise it, then it becomes a quarrel because this person is defending, the other person is defending. So you are not talking. Anytime you raise the issues, you realize, oh, you know, I've noticed that you've been coming home rather very late and you've been consistent with it. Anything that I should know? And the question of why are you asking me comes in. And then you also take another line. How do you then settle? I mean, you don't want it to blow out.
I have a book on conflict resolution, and the first thing you do is to find out if there's conflict at all. So that there's no if. It's in Matthew 18:15. Matthew 18:15. If your brother sins against you, if. Then in Galatians 6:1, as I quote scriptures, you know I'm a minister, right? Galatians 6:1. If someone falters, if things go wrong, you who are spiritual restore. We are people with heart and mind, which even my own heart and mind I can't change. You can't change anybody. And the problem we have, which I've been trumpeting around places in Techiman, Sunyani, Kumasi, and the churches, is we are fond of trying to enforce. If the judiciary, the leadership, you give the law, you don't stand by the roadside and say, hey, where's your license? Hey, why are you doing this? Let the police do it. But parents, bosses, leaders, friends, and spouses, they want to give the instruction and direction and want to push the thing. Let God be the enforcer. Allow the person to even process it and deal with one at a time. So I'm trying to understand some of the reasons why these things are not solved. If you're talking about lateness in conflict resolution or remediation or trying to put things right, let's stick to that. Some people, when they are hysterical, they become historical. And the history keeps coming. And 1928, when we were this thing, and in my home, my dad did this, and I told you during courtship, what is all that simple matter? So that's what you must watch. Sometimes there's no offense, your sensitivity. But you don't make it worse by not approaching the present privately first. In some instances, I heard something or I hate whatever it is. Then aim at change. You must aim at change, not just giving a piece of my mind until your brains are all going to go out. You're going to get a skull sitting there.
So if I get you right, you just have to tell the person, this is what I have noticed.
Be very specific.
And it's worrying me.
Yes.
Okay.
And be very loving and humble in your approach. And don't begin with conclusions. I know you agree with me, but it spoils everything. Are you men, these things, you don't take them serious. But are you women, this is what I kept saying, since I married you, and from courtship, I'm not even surprised. The way approach is so bad because we don't aim at change. We try to paint ourselves with a phantom brush of righteousness, and then the battle of the wills. Who wins? Two elephants fight, only the grass surface. So
can I also say, don't expect an immediate response?
No, not necessarily. Some things also you have to live with them for a long time. Now you see, God wants you to change. And God uses people's weaknesses and faults and things to break character. So if you are not working on yourself, then what is going to happen is that some of the things may be there for a while, because one benefit of relationships and marriage is how the other person's nature and character challenges you to think hard, develop skills of survival in it and flourishing and growing. Don't just endure it, but enjoy it and take it as a faith project and a challenge. Instead of seeing it as frustration, let it become fertilizer to grow some crops and learn skills of handling people. And don't insist on your own by converting your preferences into commandments, but seek for the interest of the other person, plus prayer, because you are spiritual beings. I'll add prayer and the word. In fact, for Christians, including even ministers and elders and deacons and the rest of them, too much talking and they say they are praying. The problem with all this is people are fasting and praying more than in the past, Because they are looking for the gift, not the giver. They are not into the word. There's a lot of optimism we call faith. And all the magicians too have become prophets around. And people are not opening the scriptures anymore to read and have devotion. They go on the radio. The radio is supposed to support. Sometimes I do the radio too. That is a crisis now in the country. People are radio Christians instead of Bible devoted personal Christians. It's a serious thing.
Is it wrong to listen to the radio when a pastor is preaching?
It's just like the cell phone. And people are just holding cell phone in church and in places. They don't want to go into the scriptures and sit and study. It's for quick reference. Because technology and things making us lazy. You're not sitting to. Look, you have to sit and look into the perfect law of liberty yourself. Analyze the marriage yourself. Apart from listening to the tape and the CD and things, you listen to the tape, read the books, do everything, then find out who is this person, who am I, and see what works for both of you. Okay. Don't just take them and try to practice, and you compare with other people's relationship. So now people just go and they sow a seed, they pray for them, and that's it.
Yeah.
Sow a seed, they pray for them. They don't want to pray for themselves even. They don't even want to go into scripture. They will take radio and they pray like this. After the radio, the person doesn't know how to pray himself or herself. It's a crisis. So he doesn't know how a devil is attacking a baby. Some crisis is there, a character to change, your own in-law, how to even minister and be effective. It's not there. Everything is something ready-made, cut and dried, because you go into marriage with the concept that it is a finished product. It is not.
Okay.
You see, angels don't marry. So it's the approach, and take your time to aim at change and give yourself time. Some will go quickly. Also, it depends on the humility. I didn't find it easy at the beginning, not because some things are wrong, but I wasn't used to them. There are 4 kinds of adjustments. Adjust to the strength of the person. So I said, hey, my husband is a doctor and on call here and there when it comes to his diet. I said, didn't you know you're going to marry a medical officer? I've heard a pastor's wife complaining, oh, my husband was ministering, I didn't know it was like this. When we married, I went to visit one of my children at Bantama, and the mother is a nursing woman, nursing officer, and then she said, yeah, you have married a nurse. So I said in my mind, this woman, Ghanaian, said, too no. I know, so what? Hey, bro, I can go to work on Christmas Day. Oh, I haven't thought about that. When Thanksgiving is in the U.S., sometimes mommy goes to work. We can't eat our turkey on that Thursday. She's at work, caring for patients. You see, that's what the woman was talking about. So commitment and understanding. Then commit to the weaknesses of the person. We are all different. Crossing the street with a baby. She's a woman. He is a man. A man who doesn't know how to have self-control. A woman who is baby, last born, you know. And then they adjust to the sins. When I say sins, doesn't mean smoke, you too smoke. Jesus adjusted to our sins by coming down to our level. If you're a German, if you're a guy speaking to an Ashanti, speak Ashanti. If you're a Hausa speaking to a Yoruba, speak Yoruba. Don't use a woman's language. Go on emotional. The man says, childish. Come down and speak to the mind of a man. We are mind people. Most divorces will never take place. If women took time, there's something God put in the eyes of women. A woman looking at a man with respect, the number one thing we want. They want good love making, good food, and then honest admiration, being domestic, top things men want.
You know, when men say respect, you know, like my wife doesn't respect me.
The way you behave, the way you talk, and the way you do things, you know, I want done, which are good things. You know, when you say a child doesn't respect, when I told you to do the dishes, it's 1 hour now. What do you say? You don't respect me. Whenever I tell you things, because you don't respect me, yeah. And because you're angry with whatever it is. Okay. So also, don't speak to a woman with the language of a man. I have told you these things in this marriage. And you know I paid 3/4 of mortgage. Without me, you won't have that white car. Your mother. Without me, where would your mother be? I've been telling you again and again and again. You see, why are you so unromantic? You don't talk to a woman like that. Loving, gentle, get into a woman's mind through her heart. So in resolving these problems, you have to speak the language of a woman. Come to the level of the person with love and compassion and wisdom. Wisdom is how do you use knowledge. So know who a woman is and know who this particular woman is. That is why in 1 Corinthians 7:3, the man must render affection. Affection is how you handle. Romantic attitude towards lover. There is a give. Render means what shall I render to my God? Calculated giving. Look, women like affection, but look at this woman. What tickles her? That's what we call love language. Touching the right places, speaking the right language, and whatever it is. And you watch as you send your hand around her in love making, what is making her go, and things, and things. Then you ask her also to tell you. And then the things you like, my wife, she likes fresh flowers, not artificial ones. So when you bring her fresh flowers, watch her. Then what the one keeps saying all the time. Then they said the woman likewise. So the men too. But the man is the initiator, the woman is the responder.
Okay. Let me give people the opportunity to call in if they have some challenges that they want your help in resolving. You can give us a call now on 0302-211-69102. 0302-211-69102. We're talking red flags that would lead to separation, ultimately divorce, and we're trying to see so that we can help prevent it. Can you be separated and then get back to marriage?
Oh, yes.
Because a lot of the ones
there can
I've
be healthy
heard,
separation. I know some separations, separation, for example, where the woman discovered a toy penis in the man's bag. Say, what is this? I was gay before you married me. Right from campus. And the man hid it. They did wonderful wedding here. They were in good churches. Said, I was in that club on campus. Because the woman had, the first child was 3 years old, and the man wouldn't have sex with her. Sleeping in the living room. Oh, but I mean, not knowing when he closes from work, goes to a gay homosexual meeting. The woman was frustrated. He was even threatening going to the streets, I said, don't say that, you're a Christian. I want to have another baby. So even when I give her tips to go to the man in the living room and try and do, they will be nice and everything to each other. When it comes to sex, the man will resist. Because all the feeling for the wife, this is how dangerous these things are, is gone. The pastors of the church came to the house and the man wouldn't stop. Because it's gone deep. There's a spirit behind wrong things. Oh, so finally she separated. Because you see, the whole situation is making you so angry. Your prayers won't be answered. And it can even, I know cases where the woman ended up in a hospital, palpitations, and all that. So that one was necessary. Otherwise, one day they'll kill themselves. But with the mindset that you are coming back, you want to focus better and prepare better. So after a few weeks, the man started thinking, when he saw the woman was gone. The woman was now praying better. And still communicating, calling him to say hi and things. So it took a few months. Finally, what I found, the woman called and said, I can't believe this. My husband has turned around. Even before I get up, he's on his knees groaning and praying to God. And I've seen a number of instances.
But can you trust a man like that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, otherwise, Paul, I know it was difficult to trust Saul, who became Paul. And that is the problem. If you are listening, please. And typically with sexual affairs, some women are refusing to have sex with their husbands because of what they did before. And some are very repentant.
That can be very hard.
Yeah, but you must pray and God will let you know it's true. It's not easy. We are afraid of AIDS and infections. And it hurts you that if it's just hurting you because someone has shared, everything is sin. Because you are also sinning by unforgiveness and the bitterness.
But I'm thinking that it would hurt me because then I can't trust you. It will be difficult.
Yeah, but don't let it take too long. And this is also when you are resolving conflicts. It's broken bones that have to come together. Give time and space. Some give time, they don't give space. Give time, but space means don't begin to, what is on the palm? What is on the other one? The one woman says, the husband is having an affair, having had sex, the woman was in a menstrual period. Maybe it is just some doo-doo or something. He's looking there. Don't see too much. They say, why is he there? What is this red thing in the shirt? Is it the lipstick? Then you're not giving me space. Every time I'm trying to find out, are you coming? Are you on your way? So what are you now? What is it? I hear some noise around you. I'm in a store. No. Is it, are you sure? Then you are given time for healing, but not space.
Okay, let me apologize. Let me apologize because our lines are down this morning, so we'll not be able to take your phone calls. But if you can Facebook me, that will be good, because you can go to facebook.com/Joy News on TV. You can put your questions there, and then I'll pass it on. There's something I've been saying, and when discussions come up, I say that I cannot forgive somebody who does that because I'll be asking myself, why did you do it in the first place? Is it because you like the other woman better? If you do, no offense, you can go. I mean, is that a difficult stance?
Is that what God did? Why did you? I can't forgive you, Adam and Eve. Why did you even do it in the first place? You, Adam, I have been there with you for years. Don't do that. That's what we need to go on. You see, love gives and forgives.
Yeah.
And your forgiveness, can you imagine that the word Eve, the name Eve, was an affectionate name given by Adam after they have been punished even with death in Genesis chapter 3:20. It is after everything that you shall be called Eve, because God started. Many relationships start without God. And the pollution of these days, the kids, you see, there are two openings on the body, up here and down there at the headquarters. So because the down there is so sacred, we let you during the wedding, so you may not greet your bride. But you have greeted, and the mouth is butter. And then they will come and stand before God and say, oh, that's when you open yourself up, swallow each other's saliva, and exchange the DNA and all the rest of them. You see, it is not the act of the kissing. Look, your daddy can't even touch your breast. Let's face it. Let's call it by name. A man who has not yet purchased the Mercedes or the Jaguar and is taking it to farm to carry some yam. And then he says, how much do you sell it for? How dare you touch areas which you are going to pay for? Because I have been trained. Look, a woman, a sperm and an egg, becomes a human being, a woman. Your body is very important. You see? And some of these are spiritual attacks, as you say. Some of them, were you satisfying your spouse sexually? What are the other issues? And it's a test of your love. It doesn't mean that everyone should have a sexual affair and then you say, I've been tested and I passed. Sometimes in the area of property where you bought something, didn't put your name on it, and whatever. Sometimes it's not sexual, but a gift you bought for a former girlfriend and all that kind of thing. And those who have had children with some girls or men before is also an issue because there's still a link. And how to distinguish between the link because there's a child and the link because the old fire not quenched.
Okay. Let me share some of these messages, and then the next thing, and perhaps the final thing that I would ask is marriage, is divorce a bad thing? But let me read some of these messages. Nantoma Muhammad says, and the question that we put on Facebook is, why marry if it will end up in divorce? If men will know that the marriage you're going into will end up in divorce, then men will simply be referred to as angels for knowing what will happen in the inner future. Not quite clear on that. This one says, most ladies don't understand their partners. That is why after they marry, they divorce. That means that they don't know the quality of marriage. That's Kelvin Baka. Prince Adika says, we never know what happens in future. So for me, it's just an unforeseen contingency that in most marriages facing problems bound to happen. Okay. This one is from Maruf, says it could happen because in an instance where the male in common is not satisfied or not recognized as the head. Sebastian says, I guess it's an experience necessary for the CV, as divorcees have become hot cake because it's believed they've earned the maturity from their previous ordeal. Really? Okay, that's a good angle. Sebastian and Kroma Osajifo Kwame, your name is. So is divorce a bad thing?
Okay, first of all, it is bad in the sense that it is not God's original plan. It is not the best. And especially when kids are involved. I mean, it is not the best to have this exposure with intense bodily interchange. And then you totally break apart. It is not the best, first of all. But it can happen as part of man's moral weakness and man's weakness and failure, which is still, it's like two evils which is a better evil. There are cases where they could have separated. I don't want to even call it divorce. I wish people just separated. But one can't stay without marrying, so then you have to divorce and marry. Typically the man. The woman can stay longer. Okay? So when they are killing each other, I find it very difficult to ever say divorce is good. But it becomes an option when there's no other way out, which is not the plan of God, but it becomes a necessary evil because the person is dying. Some people have died when children are left, and it could have been prevented.
Yeah, if they had just walked.
Okay, the scripture allows
when you
adultery, but it's not a one-time thing. If you examine the translation,
it's not.
No, the translation. If you look at it carefully, It's when it's repeated and the one is not repenting. Look, it's very, very beautiful. I can have a lot of examples where there was adultery. Even children were born. There's someone who had 2 kids. Woman forgave, and now the marriage is stronger. The man is more understanding. There was a case where people came here when this waiting started in 1999 here at Joy, where people were lining up. Then these buildings were all not there. People lined up for morning. Then Atani Delali was programs director. His office was turned to the counseling thing. I was doing with him. People lined up on the streets. That's when I had the first marriage seminar at the National Theatre and things. I remember a woman came, so the man gave me envelope 2 million. 2 million in 1999 was a lot of money for Christmas. It's still lying down, and this is in June. I haven't touched the envelope because I had sexual relations with another woman. It says he has changed, but I can't give him sex because I don't trust him. So for 6 months, the envelope is intact. So I said, go and bring the man. They came. A big man, bah. And the man, you can see, has really repented. But the woman couldn't just believe. Come and see the man weeping like a baby. It was something else. And then finally they held their hands and I prayed for them. Oh, the love came like that.
Sometimes there are consequences of that action. You could have a child who could come and disturb the marriage in another way. Child's mother could be acting up and doing all sorts of things. So sometimes you're not thinking about, oh, we can make it work again, but you're thinking about the burden, the thing that you've brought upon us because of your actions.
Yeah, if you're going to walk around thinking of the burdens in your country, in your home, in your marriage, the workplace, you'll never be happy. Focus on positives. You choose your happiness. You see, in relationships are used by the Almighty to help to change character. How he uses, look, my wife used prayer and patience and love to do a lot of changes in me. Not because I was a bad person, whatever it is. But how to convert from a single life to a married life was a problem. And that is the problem many people have. The warning signs we are talking of is that people don't finish being single in their relationships. They are still single in even the way I minister. I have to confess that I'm still working in some areas to get 100% in distinguishing between ministering and running my life and Republic Hockey and USD and marriage. Because sometimes food is ready and I'm doing some emails and things. The food is ready and she's waiting. In the past, it was a problem because I go out and come. I'm praying for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. When food is ready. I was in Republic Hall in my mind and my heart. One day she got upset and started eating. Then you use your sanctified common sense. You're going to strike the balance. I see, but still, you cut yourself using money and behaving when you don't like something. And some of the women, is the way you started talking to your husband, made him start misbehaving. You are not there to be a source of power in his life, but expecting. So be careful with your temper and your words.
I've got a question on Facebook. It will probably be the final. Ruth Mamiekia says, I'd like to know if your husband does not tell you he loves you and never kisses you, no affection, what can the woman do to turn things around?
Have you discussed with him to find out why? Did you complain about it and use words or attitude? You see, in communication, to be effective, choose the right time to talk, the right place, the right words, the right attitude, the right tone of voice. Choose the right time, choose the right place, choose the right words, choose the right attitude, and the right tone of voice. If you don't do that, and a man's respect is broken because of the way you said it or the way you behave, like you are rubbing it down, then you shut him down. The same with the women. No one taught us how to do these things. Even having boyfriend, girlfriend, we think that's marriage. No. This is commitment involved.
So what should you do?
Discuss with him.
Okay.
And find out if he says he doesn't mind you. Find out things that the person likes. Keep doing them. Keep being nice. And that, you see, your mind is the key to open your heart. And gradually when the mind begins to see that despite, and he knows what he's doing, you still show love and affection and break with prayer. The Almighty who put you together, unless you use fornication and convert it into marriage, then confess it and let God be in charge. He forgives and forgets. So that's a big thing too. And find out what you people did before the marriage. Sometimes there are forces, so we are spiritual forces. So some are from you, the woman's family, attacking the man because your prayers are not enough. So talk with him and do good things. Gradually trust God to work. And someone must work on the man. This is why you need some of us to find there's a way of going about things. People who have called up to now, you never know your wife told me something. There's a way of doing it. And sometimes you agree and go for counseling too, and things like that. And the scriptures. Once the scriptures is salt and light between the two of you, and you're not operating in darkness, it's also a source of change. So any way to find that his heart is open to the Lord, if you ask me, that's a prescription I will give you. And then he has to understand marriage and has to develop the fear of God, which is the beginning of knowing what to do, which is wisdom. Then it will work. But it's a case-by-case examination, because I have to ask some questions.
Okay.
There are people, for example, who are divorced, having a problem with their second marriages. It's because the first marriage, they brought spirits of all kinds and attitudes which have become the foundation for a lot of behaviors and things. So we need to talk.
All right.
Case by case. So call me.
All right. Let's wrap up with you telling us where you would be, because I know that usually you have things like that.
Tomorrow, we are having our married people or people preparing for marriage people's seminar dinner at the Home Touch Restaurant, Trade Fair site on the compound. Home Touch Restaurant. 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. There will be a workshop, nice teaching, discussions, prayer, question time, and all that. But you have to call 020-812-6533. 020-812-6533. Or call 020-222-312. 020-222-312. Or 020-812-6533. My number is 0276-322-982. 0276-322-982. Now on Monday, all pastors, counselors, parents, anyone who wants to learn and be strong and be empowered, free, you pay zero. We'll give you the free material I've prepared from the US I brought. I've used it in Techiman, Sunyani, Kumasi. We'll use it here in Accra. Pastors, leaders, tell all your church leaders and people who want to minister, ministry leaders, parents, come to Tesano Baptist Church this Monday, 10th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Have a wonderful time there about how to build the best relationships. Not just marriage and things, with God, with people, the nation, between you and people. Because if your relationships fail, everything has failed. Then next Sunday, 16th, at Rare House Chapel, is our 15th anniversary for the ministry here in Accra. And there's going to be Joyful Way will sing, Daughters of God Jesus will sing, Yorson will sing, Tego Sisters will sing. There's going to be a fantastic time. We'll talk, and then we are inviting the media houses to come and even join us there. And then we'll do question and answer time. Bring your questions. Counselors will be there to help. We'll pray for people. Bring all your questions. If I know you from 1970 in the schools, I knew Kwanshankra. He was the president of Accra High School. And now you know your men say, hey, this will none you people come. And then you're a military girl from Brugges. And Daiwad Mills, hey, Achimota, don't forget. Oboda Action, Achimota issue. Odonko, Achimota, all of them. Aiku, Love Community Chapel, Accra High School, all of you. SL, bring all of I can go on and on and on. All of you come around. Adelaide here, Daiwad Mills, hey, what's the girls? What's the girl? Legon, Adelaide, have you read the Bible? Come all of you there.
Okay.
And let's have a wonderful time together on the 16th, 4 p.m. It's after church. So everybody come there. Let's worship 4 to 7.
Okay.
At Royal House, Obechebe Lamte Circle.
Okay.
You can call any of the numbers I've given.
All right.
And then there is a new book.
Yeah, and I am privileged. I'm happy to have. Did you just give me the first copy? Because, I want to.
But
okay, no, I didn't get the first copy, but thank you. And this is how to build a successful and a happy home.
Yeah, the 3 top things defining a home.
Okay.
The presence of God, Psalm 90 verse 1. You have been our dwelling place. 4 things that will make it get God's presence. Faith, study of the word, prayer, and obedience. And then number 2, people. Connecting with people. I tell people that Acts chapter 2 verse 1, they were all together on Pentecost. Acts 2:44. The believers were all together and had all things in common. The Greek word for Acts 2 verse 1 is gathering. Greek word for Acts 2:44 is connection. Connection is big in our ministry. And then the third is love and care. You don't hear nursing house, old people's house, old people's home, the love and care for them. Then I've given 26 other things that should make a home, because finally is the home. When you see everybody is home. The environment trained people, you say some are corrupt, some are this, all these divorces and things. People didn't train them to relate to people properly. Connection was poor. Parenting is terrible. So the guy has finished, he's been a deacon, elder, he has PhD, he's a medical officer, he's an engineer, he's a lawyer, he's in Joy, he's in City FM, he's in GBC, he's here, he's there, he's this transport owner, he's a farmer, but the girl doesn't know how to help a man. And the guy doesn't know how to handle a woman because they were training children without training future adults.
Okay, so where can people get copies of this?
Call 020-820-9567. 020-820-9567. The book manager and his committee can bring it to you wherever you are.
Okay.
Kumasi, go to the Baptist bookstore opposite the Anglican school at Amakum. Copies are there. And you call this, or go to Challenge Bookstore also. You'll get copies of this book, or call my number. Okay.
Okay. All right. Reverend Kisiedu, thank you so much for your time. All right. We appreciate the messages that you sent to us. Stay with us, the AM show. We've still got talk. We've got showbiz. And the Habitat Fair 2015 is beginning today. If you missed the mini ones at the Junction Mall or the West Hills Mall, don't worry, this is even the bigger event. The event is taking place at the Accra International Conference Center. It will showcase everything related to housing. So just pass by the Accra International Conference Center either today, Friday, on Saturday, and on Sunday. It all ends on Sunday. All your questions related to housing, or if you want to get some products, we'll also be updating you here on the Joy News channel, but you want to be there to experience it. The dream really is for all of us to own our own homes, and it begins by going to the fair because thankfully the Ministry of Works and Housing, they've got a stand as well, so you can ask all the questions. If you want to own a home, how can the state even help you? That's a very valid question that you can ask, and answers will definitely be given to you. So go and see what is on exhibition. Even if you think you don't have the money to spend today, you definitely want to know how you can own your own home someday. So the Habitat Fair is beginning today at the Accra International Conference Center. There will be more on it here on our show as well. Stay with us. You're still watching the AM Show.